Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to have a go at doing a flower. I have to say I have never done a flower before, so this will be an experience for you and me, and we'll see if we can do it or not. If I succeed, obviously you'll see, and if I fail, I shall leave it as well and we can watch together and see what went wrong. I don't even know, to be honest with you, what kind of flower this is. I just found a picture I liked and I copied it. The drawing for this is in the description box below as normal, so let's see how we get on. I like the colours. This actually first colour I'm using is pink. It's a very pale pink, so I'm going for pinks and fuchsias, that sort of colour. And also with this as well, because I wasn't sure what colour to do the background, I thought I'll do the flowers first and then I can look and see what colour I like for the background. I did put, as you can see here, I did put a paler part in. I put the pink in and then I started on a thin lines of something else, but you could leave that bit out and go straight for this fuchsia colour or whatever colour you'd like, because I found it wasn't thick enough. This wool I got as a gift from somewhere, I can't remember where, and it's all different coloured fuchsias, and I thought, well, if they're all in that wool roving thing, then they really ought to all match. So I'm just grabbing colours from that and using that. So that's why you might see some pinks and some lavenders. But it did all seem to work quite well. My aim for this is to have it dark in the centre and basically getting lighter as it comes out to the petals on the edge. This again was some of the colour off that long row I showed you, and I've mixed it with some black because I wanted to make a really good dark shadow colour. And I made quite a bit of this because I will use it quite a lot. And as I say, I haven't done proper flowers before, and I was a little nervous to do this, but I thought on some levels we're all learning together, and it would be interesting to show you how I try and tackle something that I've not done before. So I really have no idea. I had no idea going into it how I was going to do it, and I'm just almost working off instinct, really. So anyway, with the flower then, I've gone from the darker in the centre to the light nice colour on the outside, and then I've popped just a yellow and orange mix into the middle. I think I go back and I make that the orangey yellow bit a little bit bigger because I decided it was a little small. And yeah, I shall be completely honest and tell you my thought processes on this, because I did these again in just a base colour, and as I'm going along I'm thinking they just look like strawberries. I think in the end they don't look like strawberries, but for a long time I'm thinking I'm making a mistake because these just look like strawberries. So hopefully you don't now just see strawberries, we do actually see a flower at the end of it. And this is that very dark colour I mixed with the, sorry, I've had a cold, which is why this video's late, excuse me a minute. This is the very dark colour that I mixed, and I said make it, quite a bit of it because you'll want it, because obviously this is going to be very shady inside this flower. So because I'm doing this one and it's in the shade, I've used a lot of the darker pinks and purples and things in this, but I do go around the very edge of those petals, the 3 at the back, with a little bit of the pink at the end. So this is just the pink, just going around the very edges there. And again, this obviously is some of the orangey bit from the middle. I know there's a word for that, I just can't think what it is today. Anyway, so that's what that is. And I made it reasonably dark, and then I go and add a bit of extra light to it later on. This obviously is just back to that light pink for the petals on the outside. I did quite enjoy doing this flower actually. It was quite different, it made me really think. So I might do some more later on in the year. So if you have a favourite flower and you'd like me to have a go at it for you, please leave it in the comments below and I'll have a look. As long as they're not really complex things, I'll have a look and see if we can do some later on. I might do a little bouquet of flowers or something, and we can try 2 or 3 different ones. So leave it in the comments if you have any flowers that you like. And here I'm just simply adding some darker to the pink because I want to try and make the petals look a little rounder. And there I'm just using my needle as I do, just to try and blend the colours in a little bit. When I looked up the flowers, I thought, oh, this will be a nice one. I like it, obviously. But I thought this will be a nice one. It won't take much to do. And I think this picture actually took me about 6 hours to do, which is probably twice the time I thought it would take me. But I think that's because in the end there's actually quite a lot of shading that goes on in this to try and get it looking 3D and things. There was a lot more, I don't know why I didn't think it through, but there was a lot more shading and subtleness about it that I hadn't anticipated. That could have just been me making it more difficult for myself. But that's what made it enjoyable as well, because I really had to work for this one. So on this one here, this is just a little bit of that pink, the light pink, and I'm just trying to highlight the buds, just get them to have some shape to them as well. Now what I've got here is a medium grey. I decided I didn't want the background to overtake the flowers colour wise, because I had pondered all sorts of pale colours, but in the end I went for this grey. So what I've actually got here is a medium grey, which I put around the central area where I want it darker, and then this is more or less, it's a light grey beige, is best I can say to you. So I did the rest of it all around the outside, and then I mixed a bit of the two together because I wanted to blend that harsh line that you can see between the two colours. So I wanted to lose that harsh line. So I mixed it together with my dog brush and then just blended them away, as you can see. Now this really needs felting really well. You need to, you obviously won't see on the camera, but I took about half an hour, 3/4 of an hour to felt this down. And as you can see, what I'm trying to show you is that most of it I felted down and it's firm, and I left that patch to show you what it was like before. So I don't know whether you can see, but it's really, that's not fluffy, and the bit there is quite fluffy, and when I pull, I can pull up whole bits of it, whereas it has to be felted down well enough that you can't grab strands, which is what I was trying to show you, and pull it up. So really take your time with that. Now I know this looks dark, and I'm still, I like it. I'm just not sure whether it's too dark to do the outside, but what I was trying to get the effect of was that if you'd got this flower and you laid it on a table or something, you'd have that dark shadow behind it, and I was trying to get them to get the flowers to look more 3D and more as, in some places, if they were lifting off the surface. So that took me quite a while to fiddle around with the background, but that's just a dark grey, and you could take the grey and add black to it to get that colour. And now what I'm doing is taking that dark colour we mixed earlier, the dark fuchsia pink, and putting it round more, because I didn't think the centre of the flower was dark enough either. I needed it to look like it was going in to the centre, and it was looking too flat before, so that's why I darkened that down as well. When I put all that background colour on, I covered up all the leaves and the stems, but I don't think that matters. It wasn't important, because you can go back in and put them back. They're just, as long as it all kind of makes sense in the end, you can go and put them wherever you like. And what I started with was a medium green. I'm just blocking all the stems in this medium green first. It is still quite a bright green, but I will go back over it in a bit. It always stays quite bright right the way through the picture, but I liked it. I wanted it to stand off the page. So just pop them in wherever you like. And this is a dark green, and I'm just going around some of the edges. Again, I'm trying to get it to lift up off the, if you imagine the background's a table, trying to get to look like it's lifting off, and that the stalks are actually more round, not just flat colours. So I use that colour and I go around all of them, and then here again I'm putting in that dark grey. Some of it does get covered up with the leaves and things, so it's not too bad. It looks quite heavy at the moment, but it will go and get broken up by leaves and stuff in the end. And this grey here is the dark grey that I was using around the edge of the flower, and I've just mixed it with a little bit of the lighter grey. Not the brightest one, the one that's actually around the flower still. I hope that makes sense. I just wanted to lighten it a little bit. And here I'm just putting in a bit of a leaf in the background. So I basically have a dark green, a mid green, and then I have a really bright green. And then later on I'll show you I've got an almost yellow green that I decided to add as well. Again, I'm just darkening this down, not too worried, because I know I'm going to put leaf on that. And this is that lighter green I'm telling you about. That's going on the outside edge where the light would catch the stems. And you can see what I mean, it's really, really bright, that one. So this is just a dark green that I'm putting in the leaf in the background with. I will go and lighten some bits up because obviously it would catch a bit of the light, but it's just the base dark green first. I hope I sound alright. I'm just getting over another cold, so my voice is a little bit croaky and weird today, so my apologies for that. So I've got the dark green, some of the mid green, and then I've taken a bit of that vibrant green and just got in and highlighted a bit. This picture is about 6 inches by 6 inches, and as you can see I've got a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch border all the way around extra, so that when I finish I can trim it down and the edges will be tidy and it will fit into the frame. I will have to learn metric for what 6 inches is. I think it's 5 centimetres to 2 inches, so I'm guessing that's about 15 centimetres by 15 centimetres. That's the best way I can work it, sorry. So obviously here in the background I'm just putting in some more leaves. As always, it helps immensely if you have a reference picture, because you can obviously get the colours how you want them and you'll see where the lights and the darks are. So that's your two vibrant, that's the two greens I use, quite the bright green and the medium green, and I've just mixed them together to make this part of the flower. I know there are technical words for all of this, but you'll have to just go with me on this one. I mixed it together because I wanted a little bit of variety on it itself, and here I'm just using that really dark reddy colour we mixed earlier just to give a little bit of a shadow. And again I'm going in with the dark colour there, just lining the very edge of it. And this is that dark red again. It's just obviously being put on a lot thinner, so I'm just giving some shape to the bud now. I want it to look round, so we've put some light on and we're now going to put some dark around that side of it. and this is going to be the shadow of the stalk onto the table. Yeah, so these are the shadows of the stems on the table. Just pop some leaves wherever you think it needs a few. Again, I'm just putting in some shadows and bits and pieces like that, a bit of highlights and lowlights. This yellow that I'm using now is that I was saying to you about, really bright, that one there. So you can see how much brighter it is. It's very yellowy. This was just part of the stalk I'd forgotten to put in from the second rose down. Or say rose, second flower down. I did like that yellowy green. I just used it very sparingly, just on varying little bits to highlight. But you wouldn't want to use too much, it would overpower it. This is just that extra little bit of light I said about earlier that I went back and popped in. I'm still adding darker bits around the edges there. Now I'm just going to add some extra leaves in the bottom, otherwise it's a little bare down there. I think if I'd been a little more healthy rather than suffering a cold when I'd done this, I probably would have actually added a few more leaves as well. So as you add any of your leaves, just think lights and darks, where the sun, not sun, but where the light will hit it and where it's shadowy. And I'm starting with the dark green because it's easier to build up from the dark green and add the lights to it. It's the same way I do my trees and things, really. I'll be honest, I wasn't ever so particular about exactly where I put the lights and darks on this. I just wanted to have some light catching the leaf somewhere and some darkness below it to give it some depth and some shape to it. So really I was just putting the light on top of the dark rather than where I would normally think, where's the light coming from, quite so much. And there you go. It looks lovely on the wall actually at the moment. I've got it hanging up. It looks really, really nice. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give me a like and a subscribe. And I will see you on the next one. Any questions, let me know in the comments below. So if you have any flowers you'd like me to have a go at, please leave them in the comments below as well. And I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.